And today, we are inspecting the Gauntlet, the mailed fist, the righteous steel backhand of God with which you bitch smite thine enemies back to the Stone Age! Okay, so just like the other videos in this series, but especially with the gauntlets, I just really want to stress that there are innumerable combinations of different stylings and constructions and stuff. They put these things together in a lot of different ways. So here we are just looking at kind of the early 14th, late late 14th, early 15th. So, another thing that's slightly different about this particular video is I'm actually doing the audio, the voice recording, and the drawing at the same time. I pre-drew the gauntlet here because gauntlets can be a motherfucker to draw, and I just didn't want you guys to see me fiddling around too much trying to draw this fucker. I got a halfway decent one, so like I said, this one here is kind of the middle of the road, and what I mean by that is level of complexity. And counterintuitively, these type of gauntlets here kind of got less complex as time went on. So when you're in the sort of late 14th century, you'd be seeing a lot more segments on the fingers and so forth, which I will make an example of here. So rather than this sort of intuitive plate for each section of the finger and then a knuckle plate for each knuckle, you would, a little bit earlier on, you would see highly segmented, almost scale fingers going on, which of course would offer slightly better mobility and dexterity and slightly more questionable protection if you were to take a heavy blow to the phalanges. And I'm not really counting my segments here, but of course the actual armorers would have even and precisely engineered little miniature lames here. So that would be a little bit of an earlier style. And of course, for this back of the hand plate, sometimes that would also be segmented. Certainly less commonly than, that doesn't look right, less commonly than it would be unsegmented, because it just kind of makes sense to have a big solid plate on the back of the hand. But you'd see it. Now, the later type, even later than the middle type there, was the mitten gauntlet, which looks the most unsophisticated and the most brutish out of all of them. But in fact, they kind of came into commoner use later down the line, and this could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that it had mostly to do with heavier, gnarlier weapons coming into play more commonly, like halberds and poleaxes and shit like that, you know, where they are swinging hard and swinging heavy, and you want as much possible protection for your little fingy wingies as you can possibly get, as one can imagine. And this is just one type, like I said before. Many different types of all of these, but you would get these sort of gauntlets going on like that, looking pretty dope. I actually really like the look of a good mitten gauntlet, to be honest. I just think there's something neat and powerful about it, despite looking slightly less elegant. Speaking of elegant, there would be oftentimes on these gauntlets a little tiny plate right up under this back of the hand plate here, where you would, as soon as the fist closed, right, as soon as the wearer would go right ahead and ball his fist up to go and punch a guy square in the face, there would be another little plate right here that would sneak out, all sneaky weaky like, and reveal itself as the hand scrunched up like that, which I just think is so fucking cool. And then, like I said, there were Gothic style ones that would, instead of that big round cuff, would have a pointier cuff. The level of decoration ranged wildly, immensely, and the level of segmentation as well. And speaking of the cuff, you would have the cuff you're seeing on all three of these examples is called the International Hourglass cuff. And the reason they call it that is, of course, just because it gives that hourglass, shape with the back of the hand and the cuff kind of makes that hourglass shape, and the reason that cuff is so huge compared to the actual arm that would be inside of it is just simply so that that hand could rotate freely and there would be plenty of space no matter what direction the cuff had to go. It could rotate around as such. And then just some minor details, if it wasn't obvious already. You can see the little glove poking out here. That would simply be a leather glove. That's what a gauntlet is. It's just a glove with metal plates sewn to it. And so, of course, the palm of the hand would be just leather, but the hand would be wrapped around a weapon mostly, so that would be not exposed. And then, of course, the cuff here would go all the way around the back of the wrist. So if you were looking at, let's see, if you were looking at the bottom of the gauntlet, you'd see our hourglass. This would be fully enclosed. And then we would have the palm of our hand here. Type deal. And this would just be leather. Yeah, including the fingers and everything. And then the plates would just be on top. You probably have a strap coming across here sometimes, but not always, because these plates are, attached to the glove. They're riveted to the actual glove on the top. So Yeah, just the cuff portion here would be fully enclosed, and you would just slip your hand in and go about your bloody business. So there we have it for our sweet, sweet, mighty medieval gauntlet demonstration. I hope we all had ourselves a grand time. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.